Well, they are saying that there's what, 4 or 5 contenders: Josh Shapiro, Roy Cooper. I mean, governors essentially from or senators from all these other states that they need. So I don't know, but she's got her list and she's expecting to get files on all those people
What about Pete?
shortly.
What about Pete? Then you have
That's another one,
the total diversity ticket. You know what I mean?
right?
Because you know how they're all about that. So it's
They
like
are
you got your
all
black
about
woman,
it.
you got your gay dude.
Hmm.
This is the thing. You know how they're all about that.
And then
So
you'd have sort of youth and vitality, right?
yeah, but you've
Compared
got
to the old
two
guy.
useless, like completely
True.
inept people on that ticket. They cannot do their jobs. Look
Mm.
at his record, look at her record. And that's what Republicans, our guys, have to go after is their records. Pete is useless, you guys.
My
Look at
God.
what he's done from a transportation standpoint. I mean, like he doesn't know how to do his job. First of all, he didn't know how to do anything in South Bend. And then he didn't know how to, I mean, he literally doesn't know how to do his job. He's been an
But he
epic
talks a
failure.
really good game, though.
And yeah, and he's good at chest feeding. But other than that, he doesn't know how to do his job. He's completely incompetent. And so is she. And so we need to focus completely on policy and how well people have done their jobs, which they haven't.
Yeah. And there is, of course, the question of all the legality of this. And Katie Pavlich talked a little bit about that yesterday.
The lawyers and the election lawyers are getting their engines revved up, both from the Republican side and the Democratic side, because there's a big question about whether Joe Biden can transfer all of his campaign funds to Kamala Harris before he was actually nominated at the DNC convention in August. He has no legal standing right now as a candidate, and neither does the vice president. If you look at what the FEC commissioner tweeted out today, he said, quote, citing election law, if the candidate is not a candidate in the general election, all contributions made for the general election shall be either returned or refunded to contributors or redesignated or reattributed as appropriate. If you go back to the letter that Joe Biden released today, he doesn't say I'm suspending my campaign immediately. He says, I'll talk to you about it later in the week. He says, I'm going to stand down. So there's going to be a lot of logistical legalese here when it comes to how they can actually transfer this money and whether they can transfer it at all to any other person besides Kamala Harris.
Can you imagine if you're one of those people who gave like 10 grand to the campaign thinking Joe Biden's your guy? Listen, I don't know, like you're a completely moronic person if you did that. But if you did it, and you gave that money, and then all of a sudden, like right now at the 11th hour, he's being forced, like there's a coup, they're making him get out. And then you're like, wait a second. I'd be like, I want my money back. I want it all back. This is not okay.
I know, but again, I think a lot of people secretly that gave money because they want to win are relieved, and they're going to be glad, they're going to be pleased as punch to have that money go to whoever else it is. In fact, Kamala's campaign raised almost $47 million in just 7 hours when this announcement came out. So they're going to rally. There's no question about it.
Because they're good at that. Yeah, they're good at that.
That's exactly what they're good at. And so how there might be legal fights to that, legal challenges to that remains to be seen. But this is what they do, and they are a machine about rallying.
Democrats really are good at that. They always have been.
But there's a couple states that could make it a little complicated. So South Carolina apparently is one of the few states where presidential candidates are not allowed to drop out for political reasons and get an automatic replacement. And Nancy Mace, my future representative in just a few months, is going to introduce a resolution on Monday calling on VP Harris to invoke the 25th Amendment, under which a majority of the cabinet can remove a president they deem incapacitated. That's the only way, at least for the South Carolina ballot, that somebody else can appear on it, unless Joe Biden dies or unless he's 25th. And so he can't just drop out because it's not looking good in the polls, which is exactly what he's doing.
Precisely. I wonder if there are other states. There have to be other states that are like that.
I think there's one other that has the same rule. And then there's a lot of states where the water's really muddy.
It's iffy.
And it's just hard to know. Yeah. So
this is
super interesting.
Right. It's going to get interesting. It's not just cut and dry. And then here's Obama in the background going, well, I mean, we'll just like take him out and put somebody else in because it's not working for us.
I mean, you just can't do that
without
challenges.
In Obama's world, he can.
Yeah.
This is it's just outrageous.
You guys, we are both so freedomed out today. Look at our
We're
shirts.
so freedomed out. Look,
Freedom
all you need
over
is freedom.
everything.
Yep.
Remember that when you go and you find yourself some patriotic gear at gruntstyle.com. July is Freedom Month. This is the month where everybody's supposed to be feeling at the height of their patriotism. And so if you are feeling it and you want to show it, they have the best gear, t-shirts, sweatshirts, you name it, at gruntstyle.com. And so to mark the most patriotic month, they've released a whole new line of super patriotism themed t-shirts. And you can see that they'll pop up when you go to the gruntstyle.com home screen. You can click on new and featured, or you can just, you'll see it. As soon as you get to the site, you'll see their new and featured, and you'll see their super patriotic gear. Check it out. If you are a brand new customer who's never gotten anything from Grunt Style before, and you use code CHICKS15, you will get 15% off your order. And then if you have bought things before from Grunt Style and you use code CHICKS10, you're still going to get 10% off your order at gruntstyle.com. All their stuff is so cool. And I love that
love
every
mine. I love
sleeve has this kind of stuff. They've got the flags on them. They have the greatest stuff that just makes you feel like America.
F yeah. Really cute stuff.
So check it out, gruntstyle.com. Interestingly, yesterday I saw that Gavin has canceled all of his appearances for his appointments for the next 2 or 3 days. And I was like, oh boy, man, he is getting ready to take a go at this himself. But then he apparently endorsed Kamala, which would, so I don't know what's going on. If he's preparing to possibly be her VP, which I think would be really scary. So I don't know what he's doing, but that's a thing that happened too.
I don't care if he endorsed her or not. I don't trust that guy as far as I can throw him.
Oh my God.
Freaking weasel. And I think that Obama wants an open convention, and I think he wants somebody completely different. And I think he would be delighted to have Gavin Newsom at the top of the ticket.
Agreed.
I don't trust any of these these lying, cheating scoundrels. They're all just manipulative, gross cheaters. All of them.
Yep. And then Jen Psaki was talking to Rachel Maddow. This was interesting because Psaki was like, well, I mean, at the convention, they'll just create a process. And even Rachel Maddow was like, what does that even mean? It's just an interesting tone right here. And go.
But now the DNC and the Democratic Party they're going to run a process, is my understanding. And the process is going to be, the goal of it is to make the vice president look strong and be strong at the end of the process. So that means that's what we're going to see over the next couple of days. We'll learn a lot more about what that looks like.
What kind of a process? I mean, like a competition?
I'm surprised she even asked that question because she's so like lockstep with everything that they're doing. But I mean, this is crazy. It's just absolutely crazy. Like but can you imagine if Republicans were doing this?
Oh my God. The outcry. Oh my gosh.
Right. Heads would just be imploding everywhere. Rachel Maddow would be losing her mind. It would be 24/7. Oh my God, these people are destroying our country. These people are commies. What are they doing? This is a coup. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. But since Obama's doing it, it's totally fine. It's totally fine. They're saving democracy. He's a patriot, you guys. He's a patriot.